Not the Drink Champs. That was it.
Hey, listen. Why you think I was?
Yeah, you thought you was on it. Nah, not tonight, baby.
No,
Woo! See this here? When I was young, I used to just be in the club and I would take my shirt off and just walk around the club and drink that whole bitch right here and just wild the fuck out. And hit and smack somebody in the head with it. I was a wild ass nigga.
Welcome back, Love Lit Luxury, the only luxury mobile podcast in the city. 3 L's and we ain't taking none, man. We outside. Today's episode, we got a legend's legend, like a multiple legend. Like the reason why niggas read magazines, the reason why we got award shows, hip hop award shows, the reason why, hey man, the man got songs with Pac. The man got songs with Face. The man got beef with Eminem. He got beef with the white boy. Listen here, he just got some new beef with Curtis. Listen here, man. The one and only media mogul, hip hop icon,
It's a hell of an intro, you know?
Tubi star.
Make me want to highlight liquor.
He got your girl probably looking at the nigga lusting after him on Atlanta hip hop. Man, the one and only.
That got to be one of the greatest intros I ever had.
The one and only Benzino, man. Benzino, the legend.
I'm humbly grateful, and it's an honor to be here.
All the way from Beantown, Four Corners.
The Bloody Bean.
The Bloody Bean, yeah. Listen.
Ooh, I'm gonna say the Bloody, baby.
Yeah, tight shit.
Tight shit, yeah. You know, I appreciate it, man. Like, I must say this is my first time doing an interview on a party bus. So this is dope.
This is the only luxury mobile podcast. I've never seen one. I've never heard of anybody else having one. This right here is your new source, but we'll talk about that later on.
Love luxury, baby.
Yeah, this is your, you know how Dave Mays put you on and said, hey, listen, homeboy, this is what I need from you.
Right.
Hey, listen here, this is your second chance to be a source owner.
Okay, let's go.
We're going to talk about that later on off camera, though.
Yeah, baby.
I'm going to jump around a little bit, man. I know you're not drinking, so we're not going to play the drinking game.
Yeah, man. Drink Champs was enough for me. I drunk enough to, on Drink Champs. And, I did that on purpose, though. When I went and did that, it was like I already did, 4 interviews with Nori. Like, Nori's a really, really good friend of mine. And, every time it seemed like when I was talking with him, because we're friends, it just seems like I was being too politically correct with my answers and being too nice and being too. So I know in order for me to open up, I knew I had to. If you was watching me, I was doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I just did a little bit too much.
Okay.
Because as you know,
you the real drink champ.
Man.
You was the real drink champ that episode.
Boy, I had to hurry up because I was about to pass out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we gotta hurry. Because you start noticing, your mouth getting numb, and you're talking, you're slurring, and the next thing you know, shit, when I left there, I was in the car and just blacked out.
Make sure I had to go back in the wheelchair.
I got right. What the fuck, man?
I told you, man. Listen here, the last week or so, man, everything in my life has been Benzino. I've been definitely studying and listening. Again, like I said, we're going to jump around a little bit.
Okay.
This is for those who don't know. I found something out myself.
All right.
The Source magazine started off as a pamphlet in Harvard.
Yes, Harvard.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Dave Mays came and interviewed my group. I had a group called the Almighty Arbor Show. And he came and interviewed us. He was actually at another college radio station. This was 1987. And Dave was cool. Dave was from D.C., white Jewish kid. You know what I'm saying? He came there by himself. We was a wild bunch back then, so I always kind of admired Dave to even kind of find, to even kind of want to interview us like that. Back then it wasn't too many interviews or anything, especially college kids and shit. So he was like, yeah, I want to interview. I was like, yeah, all right, cool, whatever. He interviewed us, and then we just kept a friendship going. He said he was starting a radio show, hip hop radio show at Harvard on Saturdays. Then he got the radio station for 2 hours, and me, my DJ, we go up there, fuck with Dave. He actually came up with the source. It was a 1-page newsletter, just one piece of paper, black and white. Had KRS-One up in the top left-hand corner. Then had a list of the top 5 songs, a little write-up about KRS. It was his idea to get a newsletter out with things that were going on in hip hop to people that, or places that wasn't actually getting it, as well as getting it to the labels. So it just grew and it just grew, man. I mean, me and Dave was there for 18 years, right? With the Source, and it was so much shit that went on, and so much, history. Excuse me, that I mean, it's just a lot, man. I was blessed to be a part of it.
So 85, 80, 87, 80, 85, 87.
Well, 88 was the first issue, 1988.
1988.
February of 88. That was the first piece of paper.
Okay.
And then it went into a book form. It was like a small black and white book. Then it went to color. It got bigger. And, just kept progressing to what it was.
So when you finally like, you know what, just a piece of paper to the award shows. Like I heard the rumors about you giving the five mics to different. I'm gonna say this. We ought to be a time, and I know niggas had like women on their walls and shit when they was in the joint.
Right.
I had the hip hop quotables on my wall.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, like when
You
Siegel,
had a dime piece on the wall?
man, I had Siegel's lyrics on there.
Wow.
Man,
16, the 16,
yeah,
the quotable hip hop, yeah.
Man, like that's what I studied. That's what I seen.
That's the first time I ever heard that.
Like, yeah, bro, like
that's real shit.
I'm a lyrical guy. Like I like the lyrics.
Well, let me ask you something. So, just quickly, in your time, you could say that the Source got you through your time a little easier,
Fuck
and you had
yeah.
a lot of other inmates and shit.
Fuck yeah, like absolutely. Man,
How many magazines do you think circulated as far as before it finally got around? Like, one magazine would circulate through the whole.
Hey, listen.
Tell me about that. Tell me a story about that, because I know some crazy shit, because I done heard some crazy shit.
Oh, listen here. I mean, again, shout out to Rick Ross, man. Shout out to Freeway, the real Rick Ross. Man, I'm an avid reader, man, because of the things that he was doing and part of the culture that he put together.
Right.
They would get books, magazines, nigga, the whole pot of have.
Right.
Man, I would get a magazine. I go through it in a day or two.
Right.
I might not get that mag back for like a month.
A month before it gets to, especially a Source.
Yeah.
And then you gotta make sure niggas ain't taking out
Hey, look.
pages. Because the dime piece is coming out.
The dime piece
The dime piece is coming out.
Hey,
You
listen,
gotta,
I wasn't going to say nothing.
You took your money.
Hey, please.
You had to.
Please.
Somebody was.
I sold them. We sold him.
We
sold him.
Look at that
We
shit.
sold him.
That's real shit.
Hey, listen, yo. Listen.
Something like that, we would go for what? Because I want people to realize, what would you sell the dime piece pictures for? For those who don't know, the dime piece was like the IG models of today. We would feature beautiful women, and they'd have on bikinis and stuff, and they would be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would be like top real photography. So, you know what I'm saying? So, something like that, what would you sell that for?
I can get a couple soups or a couple stamps. Get about 5
In the
stamps.
joint.
Get 5 stamps for the joint. No.
That's a lot of money in the joint, though.
That's dope. That's dope.
Hey, listen, I wasn't gonna say this shit, so I was reminiscing. I was thinking about like when the Blacktail magazines and shit came
Of
in.
course, I know Blacktail.
Like niggas was laminating the pages, bro.
Damn.
You remember that?
Niggas was laminating the pages so you could.
wipe them off.
Yeah, because they be sticky as fuck. You gotta put antibacterial soap on
Hey,
it.
man, yo, wow, like that took me back. That definitely just took me back, man.
Straight stunt, man. Rest in peace.
Man, straight.
K.
Oh my
Slade,
God,
man.
that
Rest
was
in peace
another
to K.
one.
Slade,
Straight
man.
stunt.
R.I.P.
Man, that was another one. Straight stunting.
You know,
Don Diva.
K used to come, Don Diva, Cavario. You know, a lot of these in Feds magazine.
Yeah.
A lot of these magazines, we gave Fed officers, Cavario worked. A lot of these guys we used to like help. You know what I'm saying? Do their thing. They was establishing themselves like on a smaller level, but we would always try to help. Because I used to like any type of those type of magazines, I would always be reading them. I'm like, listen, we need to get more, because it was street shit.
That was
Source was like about.
Source was the hip hop Bible.
Right.
Like
right,
before
right.
anything else.
For sure.
We had the source. Like, I mean, it was something else. Like.
Who was the first Cleveland artist you seen the Source?
Boom.
That was the first Cleveland.
Bone Thugs
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Sir.
Sorry.
Listen here.
You know what I'm saying, nigga? So that was the first.
Hey, listen. So this is a great segue.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland is divided. Like half of Cleveland is on some East Coast shit.
Right.
The other half
I
of
seen
Cleveland,
that.
the other half of Cleveland be on the
Hold
gangster
on.
shit.
No, hold on. So before we came, Kev took us to a spot, and they was playing all West Coast shit that I don't remember. See, I'm a Boston nigga, so we listen
The
to
West
West Coast
Coast,
shit.
yeah.
Only Boston's weird. Like
Jersey.
New York wasn't listening to.
Yeah.
Jersey wasn't either. It really owned it. Some parts of Jersey might have been, but I'm saying like really Boston was heavy on West Coast shit. Like let me tell you something that happened. So when Easy signed Bone, Easy signed RSO. So we got signed at the same time. Tamika, his wife, and Yellow found Bone. Easy found us. He came and simultaneously happened. So we had two meetings with Easy. One of the meetings, in New York. He came to the source. He was like, yo, y'all niggas is controversial and everything. Nah, I fuck with y'all music. And I'm like, now mind you, this is like my,
This is the almighty RSO.
This is like my idol. Like we fuck with Easy so hard. I was like, are you kidding me? We gonna be on Ruthless Records? Like so, we had a meeting with him. He was with the Samoans. So when I watched the movie later on, it all came. So I remember he had on a softball jacket. You know what I'm saying? And he had Jerry Curl. He had the hat with the logos. He was Easy. I met with him twice. Met with him there. We met at the St. Regis. But this one guy he had with him was the big Samoan twins. And this one dude, he was like this dude that looked like Steven Seagal with a ponytail, right? This white dude. And the first time he had on like a small trench, but you could see this little. He kind of opened it to kind of make niggas see it. It was like a little nasty little Tommy, like right, like a little. Oh, this shit was dope. And he had it hanging some crazy shit. So he was the nigga from Israel that Jerry Heller put on when Sugar was pressing Easy. It all made sense to me. I didn't know back then. When I watched the movie, they were saying something about the Jewish Defense League. That was the dude from. His name was Mike Klein, right? So check it. So everything was cool. This was gonna be our first album deal. He was gonna give us $175,000, and he went to the hospital. So I was really the only. Me and Dave was the only one, like, because the group was about about five of us. But I was the only one really talking with him and shit, because I was the one handling everything. So he went in the hospital. I talked to him. He was in the hospital. He was at Cedar, and everything was cool. I said, look, we made this new song. We want to send it to you. So it was a cassette. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do email and nothing. He had a box in his hospital. We said, send it. We sent it to him, overnighted it. He got it. He said he loved it. A couple days later, I talked to him. His voice was way worse, right? So he said he had bronchitis or something. So I'm like, yeah. Like, see, back then, you niggas was getting the flu. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, it wasn't like, I hadn't even really heard about it when they catching HIV, I don't think.
Magic Johnson was the first person that you thought it was like Magic Johnson.
Magic, yeah.
Then you thought it was, they made it like a gay disease or homophobic.
But even when Magic caught it, I don't even think I took it serious enough to be like, I don't know. I just, because when Easy, so he was like, he got bronchitis. And I'm like, okay, cool shit, right? 3 days later, I get the calls like he died of AIDS. And I was like that shit, like it shut me down. Like I got shut down for a few days. I didn't even come outside, and I was so fucked up when this happened, because we had already went through a bunch of shit. A couple niggas in the group had got killed. We had to go through a whole bunch of bullshit, just street shit, and it was like this was finally our opportunity, right? In a major way. Nobody ever got signed. Like this was gonna be big. You know what I'm saying? Like RSO, Boston getting signed to Ruthless Records, and died, right? They didn't honor our contract, but they honored Bone and them. Tamika, right? Because Tamika took over Ruthless. When Easy died, there was this lawyer named Ron Sweeney that Tamika was fucking with. I don't know if they was fucking with each other private. I don't know about that or whatever. I don't know. But Easy signed over Ruthless to her on his hospital bed, right? And they didn't sign us. Our deal was done. We were just waiting for him to come out. Everything. Matter of fact, our lawyer was the same lawyer who was rocking Tupac's estate, Tom Waller. The contract was just ready for Easy. We had without everything. We was ready to go. and then he fucking died, and it was like, yeah. So that's a crazy. Bone kept theirs, and it went on to be the amazing group. You know, like those are my niggas. Like I fuck with the niggas. You know what I'm saying? Me
and listen, man,
me and Crazy got a song together.
Man, we need Crazy, man. I done ran into you a couple times, man. We need you on here, man. We need Bone Thugs on Love Lit Luxury. All right, I'll just let y'all know, man. We need y'all on here.
I'm a fucking Bone fan. Like real talk. Like it's just crazy how I see they path, like how big they got, and it was like, damn, we lost the deal.
Yeah, that could have been.
It could have been our chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but because then if that would have happened, it would have been all this source shit, all this controversial shit. We would have been as a group. But you know, God make things happen.
I mean, I hate to say I'm glad it didn't work out.
Right.
Because we wouldn't have had the source and all this. So I'm glad it didn't work out.
Well, I mean, yeah, because you know, after that, like when I first got with the source, it was like I still was in the streets heavy, and like street. I'm a street nigga. I sold drugs since 12. You know, my dad, all kind of fed time and shit. So
Irish,
yeah. So he it was like, you know, hip hop was like a thing that when it came, because my father was from New York. When I go to my grandfather's, I got up on hip hop way before Boston got up on. I was 11 years old. My uncle was trying to teach me how to scratch and shit. Like it was like in '77. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, like hip hop really saved my life. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I still was doing my street shit, but I was always doing hip hop shit, block parties, house parties, abandoned buildings. We go get the electricity from the lights with a bunch of extension cords. Like then we got the Honda generators.
Listen. So did you DJ? And what was your DJ name?
Rock Shock and Ray Dog.
Rock Shock and Ray Dog.
Before I was Benzino, you know, my name Raymond.
Yeah.
So before my name was Ray, my name was Ray, and then they called me Ray Dog. Like Boston, you come to me through the hoods of Boston, ain't nobody calling me Benzino. It's Diggs, Dog, or Ray Dog. That's it, nothing else. And the chicks call me Ray. Like it's no Benzino. Benzino came way later. You know, my man Free Trap gave me that name in the streets and stuff, but it was Ray Dog. So I started out as a DJ way before the SB 1200s came out. Like I'm a real, you don't understand, like I came up under the Spoonie G era and the Fever era, like real, like I was
like
breaking
like
pools and all that.
Rock, like was it not rock and roll? What is it?
This was the 70s, bro, the Sugar Hill era.
Yeah.
Like bro, like I was really heavy into that. And then we was doing block parties and like I was a real hip hop nigga.
So
like,
that was like the first verses, like those block parties where everybody was.
One thing about block parties, right? First of all, right, a DJ would take a little bit of a record, it might be about throughout the whole record. It might be a part where a drummer has a solo that's going for maybe 45 seconds. The DJ's job is to keep that beat going all the way for the MCs to go all night. One thing about now, if you knew that you couldn't rap, you wouldn't dare go over there on that mic in front of. It'd be thousand people out there. You wouldn't dare go over there. Niggas would fuck you up or you embarrass yourself. You wouldn't even. It never happened because if you sucked, you wouldn't even do it. See, back then, everybody knew their place in hip hop.
All right, as we were talking about earlier, man,
Right.
before we had to take this quick intermission.
Yes.
He was about to get signed with Eazy-E. Bone Thugs went on to do their thing.
Yep, shout out
and you
to
went
Bone
on
Thugs.
to do the Source magazine.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to say
mean-
just the Source magazine because you still had your own rap career. Like,
Yeah, I went solo after that, and I got signed by Motown, and that's when we put out the Booty song with Teddy Riley. I got a chance to work with Teddy Riley and got to spend like 2 weeks with Micheal Jackson, like down in Virginia. Yeah, that was crazy.
hey, what was it like? I was gonna ask about Pac, but man, what was it like working with Mike?
So
man?
you know, Teddy Studios in Virginia Beach, and Teddy had worked on the Thriller album. So him and Mike had really developed a really big friendship, you know. So, like, I was amazed. I'm not even gonna, you know, like.
Hold on.
I ain't even gonna.
Was it the dark skinned Mike?
Nah.
Oh,
I'm saying Mike was not necessarily never really like. When you look at Mike, even when he was younger, he was brown skinned. Sure, he might have bleached his skin some, but this was Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like
This
this.
is the one glove Mike.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So he had his kids with him, but they were covered up. Like their faces was covered up with was covered up with veils. There was two of them that was They probably looked, there was about 5 or 6, 7, maybe 5. And then it was the baby. And Teddy's studio's small, right? So when Mike comes in, it's like, there's only 2 rooms. My group was in one, myself and the producers was in one room, and Teddy and Mike was in another. But there's like a little kitchenette. So Mike had, you know, we was there a couple of weeks. Mike would come in, say what's up and everything. And he shut down Dave and Buster's a couple of times where probably, I'd say about 12 of us from the studio would go to Dave and Buster's and nobody else would be in there. So Mike shut the whole Dave and Buster's down. It was just like 12 people, just 12 of us in there. And he would play the flight simulator game. That flight, he liked that. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy because I ain't even gonna lie, the whole time I'd be nervous, you know what I'm saying? Heart start racing and shit. I'd be like, look at this shit. Like, I didn't even think I could be like that. But around him, I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know, Mike is probably one of the most, probably the greatest to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? And his influence musically with me goes back when he was A, B, C, easy, you know. Yeah. So I've been watching him for years, the cartoons, everything. So it was just an amazing experience, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, hell yeah, he cool too.
Hey, listen.
He tall, Mike tall.
And I'll be here, you know, they got all these rumors and shit going around with Mike punking Tupac and all type of shit for fucking
I don't know.
Jones' daughter.
I don't know, anything's possible, you know.
Here's the question, because niggas be saying is, do Mike got a deep voice? Is his voice different?
Nah, hell no.
Still talk like
Nah. I mean, yeah, he still talk like, you know, but he's real soft. He's like, yo, like real. This true story. So we in the kitchenette and I'm heating up. I think it's the first time I even ate Chick-fil-A was down in Virginia around that time. I think I'm heating some Chick-fil-A up. And I just remember turning around, he was right there. And I jumped and I got like, I don't know if it was, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it might have been nuggets or something. I was like, would you want, you want one? I didn't know what to say. I was just so nervous being around him and shit, man. But the producers I was with, he would come in and listen to some beats. He was real, like, super cool, like, tall. He wore, like, a red shirt. Like, I know he got different, probably 1,000 red shirts, but he only wore one thing the whole 2 weeks. That was a red short, some red shirt, slacks, and some penny loafers. But, you know, it looked like everything was crispy new every time he wore it. So he probably came with 30 red shirts, 30 slacks. Like, it's not like he was wearing the same shit over, but, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know, his hair looked like the most best, silkiest, like, hair you could. I was like, this is crazy. Like, I was like, shit, how the fuck did he get that? You know what I'm saying? It didn't look like no wig or nothing. That shit looked like it was his fucking hair. Like, and it just was like, and then the only thing with Mike, I love Mike, but you know, his nose, I had been through so many surgeries that he had like a bandage on it. And that was like the only thing that was kind of like, you know, when you're looking at somebody's face and their nose looks a little different. Other than that, man, he's a great dude, man. You know, he's a legend. He's, you know, man, Mike is a good dude, man. Rest in peace, Mike. I cried when Mike died. I sure did. I shed a tear.
I probably cried when Hov died.
Yeah. So you probably cried when Hov died?
I probably cried when Hov
Word?
died. Yeah.
Okay.
I was sad when Pac died, but it didn't like move me to tears.
It fucked me up when Pac died. It fucked me up.
I was in the streets when Pac died, so it really wasn't allowing me to really embrace the vastness, the seriousness of his death, the void that he was leaving.
Right.
You know.
Pac, it was when artists like Pac, Biggie, Nipsey, it's more or less of a shock. You're so shocked that they're gone, because one thing what music does, you know, and this is for each individual, it leaves such an impact on your life. Songs leave such an impact on our lives that it's deeper than just music. It has to be, because throughout our life, you know, our journey is our journey is told by music. You know what I'm saying? Really, like 10 years ago, if you hear a song, it's gonna put you in the place of where you was at. You know what I mean? If you hear a song that was 10 years old. So that's just how music is, man. And you know, with hip hop, the music turned into a lifestyle, a culture. It's very rare that happens with music, like where a music is actually turned into our life, and everything that we do comes from the culture and the music of hip hop for our people. So, you know, it's crazy.
I know we was talking about it earlier, like how hip hop is split in half, and Cleveland itself is split in half between East Coast and West Coast hip hop. When you recorded with Pac, it was you, Freddie Fox, and Pac.
He came to the studio.
Like y'all was all in the studio together. It wasn't like the,
So me and Fox was there first, and then Pac came because it was Fox's song, and he invited me. Pac came, and he brought Stretch. Rest in peace to Stretch. He got killed. Stretch got killed, and all that stuff that was going on. Stretch with the Live Squad from Queens. He came in with Brand Nubian's DJ Alamo.
Okay.
And his brother Moprin. The song was produced by SID, this guy from Naughty by Nature's camp. He's from Jersey. And the song was called Killer. And you know, I did my first verse.
Yo, I don't mean to cut you off. Like 90% of what you're like your songs, you're on the hook.
Right.
You got the hooks. Are you creating the hooks or they just like?
Nah, I just like back then. It's just, you know, just like anybody else. It's just like hooks really, to me, is the easiest part.
Okay.
The hook is 8 bars. You know what I'm saying? And you know, verses for me, you know, in my group, there was 2 other guys that were doper than me. You know what I'm saying? When Fox asked me to get on a song with Pac, I was like, me and Fox had some history, some street history. So when he put me on a song, so you know, and Pac was dope back then, but he didn't blow up to the phenomenon of what, you know what I'm saying? This is 94. So this is like just Pac just did Juice Pac.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was, you know, knowing now I have a song with Pac after way all that other shit that Pac accomplished and what he's.
They got these AI songs, but
it's
they ain't
crazy.
got Pac. Like you was in the studio.
I was actually in the studio with him, and we did a skit and everything. You know what I'm saying? We did a skit, and I don't know what happened to the song. I hear it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And
I heard you bought the song from a nigga for like
so we ended up. So no. What happened was, Suge cleared it, but Afeni didn't. We ended up. She sued us. We ended up having to give Afeni $150,000. This mother.
$50,000.
Yeah. So we gave Afeni, but you know what? It's Pac's mom's. It's Afeni. So you know what I mean. We was getting that money back then. I mean, back then, yeah, we was getting it. So.
Hey, listen here. A part of what we do is give people their flowers and appreciate what they do. You were making like millions of dollars a month, and for you to make that type of money, you had to have a routine. I mean, you had the repetition. You had to do some shit. It wasn't just me. You know, it was a business. The Source magazine. It took up. You know, me and Dave ran it. We was the heads. Like I want to know, I want to know your routine, like your day-to-day routine and coming in. Mine's
is unorthodox. You know.
Okay.
You know, Dave was a white kid that went to Harvard from D.C. I'm half black, half Puerto Rican from Boston. I'm a street kid. And we got together in a early time like with hip hop. So it's like when I met Dave was like the administrative. I wasn't necessarily like a school type nigga. I was really in the streets. So hip hop was kind of like both. In order for the Source to work, really, and we know this now, Dave had to be the administrative, and I had to be the nigga outside. Okay. And that's how, like, because if not, because everybody else is from college. They journalists, they photographers, these are kids from college. You know, I was a street guy. When I first came in, it was just for the muscle, because I had a big crew in Boston. You know what I'm saying? That's what niggas thought. But me and Dave were really close friends. But, you know, anything where you make money, niggas are gonna try you. So for sure, Dave would have got tried. Dave would have got tried if he didn't have niggas with him, and I was the nigga with him.
To pivot from the actual magazine, you were the first person to create a hip hop award show.
Right.
Like there were no other hip hop awards. Like they had the Grammys, you had Soul Train.
No.
But it wasn't nothing. It's just straight hip hop. Like you came in. I remember the South got something to say.
92. Well, that was 95. We started in 94.
Okay. What was the first? Who was the first?
First one was 90. The actual first one was just we had gave the categories and the winners got read off. It wasn't an award. We just gave awards. It was on Yo MTV Raps. That was like in 91, 92. 94 at Madison Square Garden, we did the first award show. We got Bernie Mac to be the host. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac. And you know, a lot of shit went wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like the lights was fucking up. It was all kind of shit. You know, sticky fingers, bust a couple of shots in the air. It's fucking wild as shit. Yo, like. But you know, at that time, Grammys wasn't giving hip hop is just due. Like they just was giving anybody a fucking award. So we figured, like, look, Hip hop's from the streets. Niggas are from the streets. Not just the artists, but their niggas and their friends and their family. So we got to be able to find something that's going to represent us. Now, we didn't make no money until the very last one, years later when with BET, but those years that we invested, me and Dave had a belief that eventually this was going to get big. And we had to go through the challenges. At 95, Suge said what he said. We thought the East-West Coast was going to break. It was like a lot of beef that night at 95 because a lot of times these niggas, this is the first time that they've seen anybody. They've never seen each other in person. Like all these rappers that they hearing at the Source Awards, the first time a lot of these niggas is even seeing each other. And these niggas got a big ass entourage. We let everybody in. You know what I'm saying?
I was seeing like, you see one or two rappers and they had 9 niggas with them.
Yeah, you ain't getting the Grammys like that.
No.
You ain't getting to no award shows with you and 9 niggas. It just ain't. It might be you and somebody else, and that's it.
No plus one.
With us, we knew, of course, it might be problems or whatever, but we just gave the culture a chance. We just figured, look, we never really had no real beef. That night, when Suge said what he said and all that East-West shit was going on, we thought it was going to go down because Suge had flew on 100 niggas. Niggas from New York are there. He said what he said. Niggas, the beef with Puffy and them.
Yeah.
But, with the grace of God, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Because if something happened, it probably would have ended it. From there, we went on to do it in LA. We did 3 in Miami. We finally made some money with BET at the end, but then the next year they went and did their own show and said, fuck us, and kind of like took our blueprint. And then I got indicted by the feds, and that was pretty much it with the Source for, it was a whole bunch of shit, It was like a whole journey.
Creative genius behind the actual award show, like that.
I came up with the idea. Like I just was frustrated about the Grammys, and I came up with the idea for us to do it. I felt like we had enough. The brand was big enough to where we could do our own award show and recognize it and give our own an award. Niggas from the hood. See, what people don't understand, like the hood, anything that's of with white people that's big, Hollywood, whatever, the hood is the very last to get put on. Like they don't fuck with the hood. Niggas are scared. Like people are scared of the hood. Big companies are scared of it. Everybody like they scared of us. So, if we didn't do what we did, it would have been hard for hip hop in the hood and the streets and the people to get really recognized on a major level. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm proud of that because, at the end of the day, that's where hip hop came from. Hip hop came from poverty, the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Hip hop came from battle.
The mud. You know what I mean?
It was like snapping, or you got this on, and I'm gonna talk about you. And what
battling's a part of it. It's competition because everything's competition. Who can rap better? And then, like you said, that's where the thing come on as far as you disrespecting and back and forth. Like that's always been a part of hip hop since day one. We talking since the 70s. Hip hop was born in the 73, but rapping didn't come into it till like 76-ish. Before that, it was just disco with DJs playing disco and people on the mic like, yes, y'all, what's up, y'all? We got in the building, y'all. It wasn't necessarily rapping. That didn't come till a few years later. It was really the DJ spinning on beats. You know what I'm saying? That really was hip hop before rapping came into it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna segue into Rap Elvis.
Rap Elvis, oh shit.
Hey, listen, that's fire. Like,
appreciate it.
Like, it's for the battle music.
23 years though. Like, god damn, the Eminem shit got to get put to rest one day. Like,
hey, listen, you
23 years and shit. We both grandfather. Well, I'm about to be a grandfather. He just had a grandbaby.
Okay.
Now remember when he dissed me 22 years ago, he was like, "You're the granddad of rap," and right. Motherfucker, you was the granddad before me. Ain't that something? How shit is? How shit happens? But real talk, but the shit is too old. Like the shit is. The only reason I even came back with that was because he came up with another song dissing me. 22 out the blue, saying shit. I'm like,
so
damn,
like,
my nigga.
People need to use your name to stay relevant, kind of, sort of.
I mean, look. I'm not one to be bragging about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, you supposed to brag. You supposed to.
It ain't necessarily like.
You've done so much for hip hop, so much for the culture. Like you are a staple in. It's
the pillar.
The hardest part right now is to give you your flowers while you're still alive, because everybody.
And I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong.
But be like, oh my God, look at all this stuff that he accomplished. But
no, I appreciate it. But it's like, the way I look at things, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always good to get credit because for real, like, even back then with the Source, all those things, the Source and everything, Dave got the credit because he was the white Jewish kid. And I didn't mind it. I kind of let that happen. Like, anything that we kind of do, he would get the credit for because I knew that's how we would get more companies and I'd have to play the back. People started like, oh, he's the crazy one, he's the wild one, he's the, you know what I'm saying? But that was only, I was really the one really making shit happen with my mind. It just didn't come out that way because back then, ain't no one gonna listen to a nigga from the street like that. So Dave was the head. He was the face. They heard Benzino and then, you know, controversy surround my shit, my name. So we never wanted to fuck the magazine up like that. And then, you know, the Eminem shit came and then, you know, it ended up putting a strain on the magazine because of the beef we had. It got so ugly and the magazine got involved and shit and, you know, it probably should have.
You gave yourself 5 mics?
Nah, you know, the only reason I did 4.5, the only reason I did that, the only reason, I'm gonna be honest, listen, so listen, right, so the mic thing was always done by the journalists. I never got involved with that, right? Because that's a serious thing. People's careers was shaped off the 5 mic system. If you got a bad rating, the motherfuckers wouldn't go buy your album. If you got a 5 mic, everybody's gonna flood it. But the thing with me is, me, personally, with the Eminem shit, I felt like, okay, I'm the boss of the Source. It's my magazine. So I never, you see how you said, look it, sometimes you gotta, that was the one time I did put my nuts on the table and said, yeah, I'm gonna do this because to show you that I can. I don't think we deserved that. I know we didn't. But I just did that because I'm beefing with them. Now mind you, I'm just not beefing with him. I'm beefing with Universal Records, with Jimmy Iovine, Interscope. Like it got ugly. And it got corporate. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm a nigga from the street, so I'm like, fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, guns, like, it's you know.
Hip hop was different in the 90s. It was a different feel, it was a different vibe, it was a different energy. Like,
life was different, like, just the hoods were different.
Yeah, niggas really deep.
Black people were different. Yes. Like, it's, like, the internet fucks shit up. To be honest with you, the internet's fucking shit up. Like, to be honest, really honest with you, like, when you say that, like I say that it's the gift and the curse, but it's starting to turn more a curse. Like, it's conditioning minds. Like, motherfuckers are fried off this shit. And it's like, it's bringing the worst out of motherfuckers. It's bringing too much competition. It's putting out too much false information. It's conditioning the minds of the young kids to really bypass any type of authority or parenting or anything and just stay on that. Like, I just, you know, I got a 30-year-old son, Coy's 27, Taj is 21, and Zeno's 9. And, you know, I might not have been saying this shit when I was 20, 30 years ago because I was a wild dude, but when you reach a certain age, if you ain't changed the way you thinking from then there's something the matter with you. I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Let me ask you this. With everything that you've accomplished, are you a reader? What gave you the game? What gave you the information to be able to transition from the streets to? I mean, you were. The
hip hop was the reason why the transit, but the reason why the transition was so good is because hip hop is the streets. Like, I used to do block parties and then sell drugs when people come to the block party. Shit, we on the road. I used to be making plays. Like, hip hop is the streets. It's the same people doing it, so nothing changes. Hip hop became the streets. So when you're hustling, it's hand in hand at that point. To this day. Everybody knows that, but they doing it through the internet, so it's making them easy to get caught. See, back then we wasn't doing that dumb shit. Taking pictures every 5 seconds of what you're doing, who you with, where you're at. We was smarter than that. We ain't gonna give niggas the ups on, you know what I'm saying?
What's your idea of the new culture now, like the NBA young boys, the Lil Durk?
Niggas is dope, man. Them niggas is dope. They got major influence because of the internet, but it just don't seem like there's no older nigga guiding these niggas. Like, and you know, but I'm not, you know, these niggas are all men. They got kids, they men. And I love the way, especially Young Boy, the way, you know, you see him take to his kids, right? Mm-hmm. But as far as coming up, they came up hard. And they came up, fathers wasn't around. Just the same story for everybody. It's a sad story. You just gotta, like, man, you got to take, you know, you got to pray. You got to just see what happens. you got to see the outcome, man, of a young man coming up, because it's not easy. Me, I went through a lot of, there's been too many times where I know I should have been dead, like real close calls in a lot of different ways. And I know it's like that with all these young niggas. There's nothing special about that. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. We got to find ways to change that, because it's becoming too natural for niggas to want to kill each other and have no type of conscience or remorse. That's conditioning. And if we don't recondition these kids now, then it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse. And it shouldn't be like this. There's no fucking ways. We should be like every fucking other week somebody getting killed. Like nobody even really cry at wakes or funerals no more, because everybody's so numb to the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and come on, think about that. Like we kill each other more than anybody else. And see,
No, I'm not even gonna push that narrative that we kill people, because we are a minority, but we are under a microscope. So whatever we do, it gets blown up more than, because white people kill white people all the time.
But not the way how we're doing it. Not as far as in the community, or everyday thing, and not just kill, but just getting shot. Like, you know how fucking, you know how common it is to be shot? Like, I've been shot with almost 3 times. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost common to be shot. Like,
how do we change the narrative? I mean, it
always has to start with parenting. You got to start with parenting. You got that kid, when he comes, somehow, some way has to be guided. Those ages from like 8 to 13 are the crucial ages. And motherfuckers got to pay attention to that kid at those ages and how he does and what he does. Because those are the ages that if it goes wrong, that's it. It's going to be hard for him. I'm talking young black men. Women's a different story. But young black men, those are the ages right there. If you can't get to him on what he, is, as far as how, you got to have a conscience. He got to be able to be shown love in order for him to have love or to care about somebody else. These motherfuckers don't be getting shown love. They there's no love, there's no guidance, there's nothing. So they just killing machines. They killing without remorse, because they really don't give, life really ain't shit. When I came up and I gangbanged and I did all that, what I'm saying? I still always thought about my mother. So probably that right there kept me from really crashing the fuck out. I've crashed, but not the fuck out, because I've always thought about her crying, or her. She gave me the conscience. My father was a street guy, but my mother gave me a conscience. These kids gotta have some type of something. They gotta have some type of hugs and love, because if they don't, by the time they reach 14 and they didn't get that, that's it. You ain't getting to them. 15, it's gonna be hard. It gets harder. As they get older, it gets harder to turn them around.
Turn over the narrative.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's a community thing. It just, it's hard for a mother to raise a child with what she got and work, and then still be able to watch him. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's not easy, man. It's not easy.
Man, I really appreciate you, man. I don't really
appreciate you
take
too
much of your time.
It's all good.
Shout out to Jack the Rapper.
Fucking right.
Shout out to Kev Love the Boss.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Luau Film.
Shout out to the dolls in the bag, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Cavaliers, won today.
Yeah. Hey, listen, listen, hold on.
Turn us down.
Check this out. Unpopular opinion in Boston.
Right. I'm a Celtics fan, die hard. We're gonna beat the shit. We're gonna beat the shit out the Knicks tomorrow.
This is gonna fuck you up here. This is gonna fuck you up here. Bron single-handedly knocked the big three apart. He took the three. He took the three big.
That's a good point. KG would be pissed you saying that too. But that's a good point. We might have had another one.
Man, listen here. Bron single-handedly, Bron was a guy. He was
I was just saying that.
killer.
Do you think Bron should come back to Cleveland for his last 2 years?
Yeah, 120.
Wouldn't that-
No, we should. 119. No, we should.
Y'all would really have a chance. He would really have a chance to get another chip if he took the veterans minimum and came next year to Cleveland.
He said he's not taking the minimum now with him and Luka. So
Then he's not gonna win another championship. Now that's all right, because he's Bron. But if he wants to win another championship, he gotta come home.
No matter what, I think he gotta come home.
He gotta come home.
Where you gonna go when you close out?
Accept him.
You retire.
No, I think they would. I think they would.
Close out.
I think they would let LeBron come.
think he can retire. He
Will.
can retire.
Let Bronny stay in LA with Reddick and develop.
I agree with that.
And just have Braun come back to Cleveland.
I agree with
Play the 3.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Trust me, he's best when he's at the 3. When Braun is best is when he's at the 3. Like in Miami, he's best at the
He
3.
can pass.
Like super unnatural 3.
Yeah, he's best at the 3. So if he comes, he would automatically start at the 3. And y'all look like y'all would have some chips. And I'm Boston diehard. But if Braun come to Cleveland, it could be ugly.
Yeah.
Seconds.
All right, man. Love Lit Luxury, the only luxury mobile podcast in the state, man.
And next time you say you was gonna have strippers in the background.
Hey, listen,
That's what we got the pole for, right?
Let them know then. Just a couple seconds. Let them know that. Hey, Benzino, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that would have been hard if we had oh, wait a minute, okay. Hold up.
Right now.
Hold up, you want to move the table a little bit? Let's move the table. Wait a minute, shit. It's love lit luxury, like. Okay, shit. Hey. Okay, she look like she about to, log in right. You still filming? Yeah, you gotta film that section. Yes, thank you. Yeah, appreciate you. You missing it?
Okay.
Come on, we gotta get Mario.
Okay.
Make it look good. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck we talking about? Wait a minute, hold on, you gotta film it. Hold on.
I was filming.
Go. Hold on. Get back up, mama. Do that again. We do it for the camera.
All right, y'all, let's do it. 2, 1, let's go.
Where the music?
Ain't no music.
It's gonna be, he gonna put the music in. Act like it's music. Yeah, everybody turn up. Throw it in the air, Mario. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta represent. Yeah. Love lit luxury, huh? I got it popping for you. I got you. That was hard. That was hard.